Have you ever wondered what it would be like to play your favorite MMO in a completely different way? Turn a tank into a DPS into a healer. Play as a pet class that is completely and utterly reliant on its pet with no pet. Or even consider raiding endgame at level 25. That's what World of Warcraft is doing with their newly announced Season of Discovery, which seems to be taking the experiments games like Everquest have been conducting over the last few years with new rule sets to age-old favorites and cranking it the hell up. World of Warcraft Season of Discovery might actually have the same promise as hardcore WoW, but offering a fast track with significant difference from how the MMO is traditionally played. Let's break down what Season of Discovery is and why I'm so damn excited to try it out. Probably more excited than I've been in a long time. Perhaps not as excited as Force Gaming is, but still pretty damn excited. The first major difference for the Season of Discovery has to be how they're approaching leveling. In the initial season, the level will be capped at level 25. It's not just being capped at level 25 though and sitting there. There will be actual endgame content at that level. And the new endgame content that's gonna be there, it's gonna be a freaking raid. A raid at level 25, which means that you'll actually be able to get in and raid without having to put in, like an entire life before being able to do it. Something that, I miss in some games, having that thing. I mean, Everquest 2 tried to do that, just no one gave a shit about those raids. That's a shame too. It was a good idea having low level raids, but back to Season of Discovery. The 10-man raid in Blackfathom Deeps will include a total of 7 bosses to defeat with your small crew, and that alone is gonna make this a fun and interesting way to play the game. For so many MMOs, endgame is where the fun begins, as we have long since gone away from the journey being the point of the fun. Now, I personally love the journey. Leveling in an MMO is hugely important to me, but I also spent 4 years of my life pushing endgame raids in EverQuest, specifically because it was fun. It provided me a way to socially engage with friends, many of whom I still keep contact with today, years later. And now this, you get a bite-sized version of that joy and commitment without the crushing and devastating need to be at a raid 2 to 3 times a week, plus leveling all the time and keeping up with your alternate abilities and everything else, and putting your relationship at risk. Not that ever totally happened, but hey, this would be a cool thing for EverQuest to do. But that is also not what everyone is so damn excited about. Yes, there are plenty of people like myself that are looking at that part of the Season of Discovery and thinking, hey, that's really freaking cool. But there's another part that has a lot of buzz around it. There will be a new skill called Rune Engraving, which looks to be the biggest shakeup of how you'd normally play WoW. Beginning at level 2, you'll be able to collect runes that you can use on your character's gear permanently. Each of these runes will provide special unique abilities and passives that are separate from WoW's talent trees. For example, hunters are going to have the Lone Wolf rune, which increases your damage without a pet. For mages, the Regeneration rune adds a targeted heal spell and converts all arcane damage done by the mage into healing. Or you could turn into a shaman tank with the Way of Earth, a rune that increases your threat by 100%, 30% increased health, 10% reduced damage, and 6% reduced chance to be crit, while also turning Earth Shock into a taunt that has a separate cooldown from other shock spells, as long as you have the Rockbiter enchantment. Those are just a taste of some of the runes that are going to make the game really interesting, change the way that the game has been played for almost 2 decades, essentially revamping with choice, giving players the ability to choose more of how they want to play. I would not want to be the one having to try and balance that. That seems very difficult. But it is going to allow players to look at WoW a different way, whether it's in group content, raid content, or even solo content. Becoming a warlock or rogue tank, a mage healer, the choice will be yours, and that's going to cause some very interesting and exciting chaos in World of Warcraft. In this though, it's not just the additional roles of doing something completely different that have people excited though. There's other runes that are a bit more subtle, but might still have a pretty big impact in the game. For example, there's a rune that will give warlocks the ability to cast Haunt, Haunt being a skill that wasn't added until Wrath of the Lich King. And if I am wrong on this, and it was for some reason in Classic and it's just gone from my memory, please correct me down below. So why has this created so much, so much really good press for World of Warcraft? Well, I think it comes down to the same reason why Mischief and Thornblade were so new and exciting for players going to Everquest. In the case of Mischief and Thornblade, they added random loot to creatures, and random loot that had no longer no drop. Essentially, they took one of the key parts of Everquest and made a huge change for a specific rule set server. It was not changing the whole game, it was changing a version of the game to allow players to play that version of the game if they wanted to. And that reason, the reason why that worked out so well is novelty. Players care about novelty. We humans care about novelty. We want to be surprised and interested with new things. It's kind of why things like this work. Now, novelty, the whole idea of it is that it's new. So does this mean that Seasonal Discovery is going to be a thing that's going to last for a long time for World of Warcraft? No, it doesn't necessarily mean that, though who knows, it could find a lot of fans. Hardcore WoW has found a ton of fans, including myself, and that in itself is a novel concept, something that they hadn't been doing for a long time, and then they're like, here, try it out and see how far you can get in leveling. And we don't have to talk about the fact that I only got to level 7, and I feel really ashamed about that. I tried to heal someone. I made the mistake of helping others. I won't make that mistake again. I won't. Okay. Oh no, sorry, I need to heal myself. Oh my god! No, 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 no! No, 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 no! I was going to heal them. I was going to heal them. And then somehow there was 3. I won't make that mistake again. I won't. But even if it's just a short-term thing, it's still exciting. And I know I personally will be trying to jump into the Season of Discovery when it launches at the end of November, and hope to see if I can even get into that raid, because I think that would be really cool. And apart from anything else, while I did a ton of raiding in Everquest, I didn't really raid much in WoW. I did a bunch of grouping and soloing and PvP, but I didn't really raid. So this might be a little bit of an opportunity to get that little bit of a taste without the huge time commitment. We'll see. We'll just have to see how it actually plays out. It is, however, perhaps the most excited I've been about World of Warcraft in quite some time, in a really long time. Now, I can go back, I think, to about Legion. I really enjoyed Legion as an expansion, but there's something about this that just feels like it's gonna be fun. And hopefully it's the same for you, but I'd like to hear from you down below. Is this exciting to you at all? Is it something you would like to see in another game? Would you like to see, for example, a seasonal Everquest server, seasonal Lord of the Rings server like this? Something that really takes some of the older games and gives them a little bit of new life. I don't know that this would work quite as well in a new MMO. Like if New World, for example, came out with a setting that lets you just all stats work for all weapons, no one's gonna care. But this, taking something that has memories and making a novel twist on it, I think has a little bit of oomph to it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. My name is Redbird Flynn. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see what World of Warcraft Live has to say, check this video right here, where I delve into how they kind of went all MCU on us and announced 3 freaking expansions all at the same time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.